Hello, leaders and losers. My name is TBSkyne. Welcome back to Mass Effect.
I forwarded the mission update to the Citadel, Commander. We got confirmation on those reinforcements. Ambassador Udina wants us to report back to the Citadel. The Council's massing a joint species fleet to deal with Saren and his Geth.
I knew they'd come around. Back to the Citadel, Joker. I want the Normandy at the head of that fleet.
Yes, ma'am.
And things are about to, go off, as the children say. But first we head back to the Citadel, where maybe we can progress a side quest. Maybe I've been kind of neglecting it, and I think I may have screwed it up, actually. Which is unfortunate, because it's something that actually kind of continues into Game 2 and 3 that I kind of wanted, but I kind of forgot to deal with it, so, yeah.
Good job, Shepard. Thanks to you, the Council's finally taking real action against Saren.
The Ambassador is correct. If Saren is foolish enough to attack the Citadel, as you believe, we will be ready for him.
Patrols are stationed at every mass relay linking Citadel space to the Terminus systems.
How many ships are you sending to attack Ilos?
Ilos is only accessible to the Mu relay, deep inside the Terminus systems, Commander. If we send a fleet in there, the only possible outcome is full-scale war.
Now is the time for discretion, Commander. Saren's greatest weapon was secrecy. Exposed, he is no longer a threat. This is over.
No, it's not.
One ship going into the Terminus systems won't start a war. I can be discreet.
You detonated a nuclear device on Vermeer. I wouldn't call that discreet.
Your style served you well in the Traverse, Commander. We recognize that. But Ilos requires a deft touch. We have the situation under control.
Secrecy isn't his greatest weapon. The conduit is.
Saren is a master manipulator. The conduit is just a distraction from his real plan to attack the Citadel.
Anyway.
One ship going into
You detonated a nuclear device.
Your style served you well in the...
If Saren finds the conduit, we're all screwed. We have to go to Ilos.
Ambassador Udina, I get the sense Commander Shepard isn't willing to let this go.
There are serious political implications here, Shepard. Humanity's made great gains thanks to you, but now you're becoming more trouble than you're worth.
You bastard! You're selling us out!
It's just politics, Commander. You've done your job, now let me do mine. We've locked out all the Normandy's primary systems until further notice you're grounded.
Are you insane? After everything I have done, you still don't believe me.
I think it's time for you and your team to leave, Commander. This no longer concerns you. The Council can handle this. With my help, of course.
Anyway, fuck that. And no, we will not be able to progress that side quest.
Commander. Shepard, I cannot believe they did this to you. I am so sorry.
It's not your fault.
It's not right. You did everything they asked and more. Nobody else could have done what you did. The Council owes you everything, everything. Instead, they strip you of your command and ground the Normandy.
While they sit on their asses, Saren's searching Ilos for the conduit. As soon as he finds it, we're all dead.
Perhaps we could appeal and get them to reverse their decision.
I pushed them as hard as I could. They wouldn't budge.
So you're going to walk away? You will just give up and doom the entire galaxy to extinction?
We're out of the game for now, but I'll find a way back in.
I believe in you, Shepard. I am with you every step of the way.
How many steps exactly?
Sorry to interrupt, Commander. Got a message from Captain Anderson.
Are you spying on us, Joker?
No, ma'am. Just knew you were on the ship and figured I'd pass the message on. The captain said to meet him at Flux, that club down in the wards.
You should probably go meet with him.
Let's bring Liara and Garrus, I suppose.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding
So as you can imagine,
officer is ashore.
the person who comes and talks to
Exo
you
has the deck.
after, you know, you get screwed. Depends a little bit on who likes you the best. In this case,
Alliance
Liara.
officials report that a Geth incursion into the Armstrong cluster has been repulsed, with the Geth suffering heavy casualties.
Yeah, we did that.
In the event of future Geth activity, the Alliance plans to maintain a strong security presence in the area.
Okay, we might still be able to do the thing I want to do. Maybe. Maybe. I don't want to go to Flux. I want to go to the markets. Possibly not, unfortunately. It's a side quest I should have been more active about, but there he is. Hello.
Hey, Commander Shepard, it's me, Conrad Werner. Remember me? There are rumors on the extranet that you've been made the first human Spectre. That's incredible.
Right, Conrad.
You remember me? Wow. Guys must try to talk to a lady like you all the time, but you remember me. That really means something. Hey, can I get your picture?
Sure. No problem.
Just hold up your gun. Perfect. Thanks again, Commander. I'm gonna hang this in my living room. My wife will love it.
Not so sure there, Conrad, buddy. Bro, pal.
Welcome. Oh, sure, I can return that for you.
Thanks. Hasn't worked well since I bought it.
Hey, are you refunding his stuff?
Here you go. Your account will be credited.
You did! You took his return! Look, I'm telling you, I bought this here. Why won't you return it?
I can't take it back unless...
I know. Unless I have a proof of purchase.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and see if I can get Conrad to re-trigger if I go back to the Normandy and then back to the Citadel. Because there's two triggers that need to happen after the first encounter in order to get his quest to
Officials
mark.
have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle. Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
La-da-da-da-da. Let's go back to the Normandy. And then back to the Citadel. Well, hello.
Sorry, Commander. The Normandy's locked down. Ambassador Udina gave the order. Sorry, Commander. The Normandy's locked down. Ambassador Udina gave the order.
Oh, shit, I can't go back on the Normandy. They've locked me out of it completely. Well, okay, so that's not gonna work. Garrus, what are you doing?
I'd love to see what the Normandy can do in a fight.
How so? The Normandy is built for stealth, not combat.
But the stealth drive adds a new tactical level to space combat as we know it. Surprise attacks, undetected flanking maneuvers.
I had forgotten the Turian appreciation for tactics and strategy. With respect, I hope we avoid ship-to-ship combat entirely.
Oh, hey.
Soldier, I've got a major situation, and I need help from somebody with humanity's interests at heart.
It's Commander, actually. What do you want?
Of course, right to business. That's why humanity has the best damn fleet in the galaxy. My name is Elias Keeler. I'm an Alliance negotiator. We've got a big session coming up with the Solarians. You wouldn't believe what's riding on this. I'm fighting for humanity on this one, just like you are.
Don't try to sell me on this. Just tell me what you want.
I need you to buy a mental stimulant for me. It's legal, but restricted. I've purchased the monthly limit, and I need more from the medbay.
If you know the monthly limits, why'd you go over them?
The negotiations were supposed to be last week, but the Solarians stalled it, probably deliberately. If I don't get the stimulant, I'll be a wreck. My assistant will take over, and that would be a disaster.
You should put some trust in your assistant. Didn't you train him?
My assistant wants to bend over backwards for the Citadel races. He wants to show them we're reasonable. No race will respect us until we show them who's in charge. That's what it took with the Turians. Yeah, forget my assistant.
Keeler, you've got a problem. You need to get treatment.
It might look that way from the outside, but this is just a one-time slip-up. All the top negotiators are on stimulants close to the legal limit. It's the way the game is played.
I don't see all the top negotiators soliciting help to go over the legal limit, Keeler.
Maybe you're right. I've been trying to keep humanity strong, and maybe I've pushed myself too hard. I'll tell you what, this will be the last time I use the stimulant. After this deal is finished, I'll get treatment.
No.
No trade negotiation is worth ruining your life for. Let it go and get help.
You don't understand. Humanity needs me, and I need that stimulant. Without it, I don't know anymore. I get so tired when I run out of the stimulant. I just need one more boost.
There's no shame in having a problem, but you have to get treatment.
You're right. I'll go tell my assistant. I shouldn't be working like this. I'll get help. I'm just sorry it came to this.
Ugh. What a mess.
You should be careful who you say that around.
What? Everyone knows Fist isn't with the local criminals.
Yeah, he's also dead.
Maybe
Like, it's probably fine.
I'm waiting for someone else.
Alright, Kazar. Oh, Quasar or whatever, I don't care. I don't want to fight. I don't want to play that minigame.
Hey, good to see another human.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Sorry, I'm kind of busy right now. So, what can I do for you?
What were you discussing with the Volus?
Who, Doran? Oh, I was just asking him about my sister. See, she worked for Doran before she left to... Ugh, sorry. I don't want to bore you with my problems.
I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, okay. My sister Jenna left here to go work at Cora's Den. The problem is, she's working as an informant for CSEC. You know, eavesdropping on the people there. If they find out what she's doing, they'll kill her.
Being an informant is a dangerous job.
That's what I've been telling her. I don't know. Sometimes I think she stays there just to spite me.
Do you know who her contact at CSEC is?
No. It's all very secret. Last time I asked an officer, he told me to stay out of it, for Jenna's safety.
Maybe I could help her understand just how dangerous Cora's Den is.
Would you? That'd be great. Just don't tell her I sent you. Well, I should get back to work before I get in trouble. Thanks.
Right, okay, so that's a site. We never visited Flux earlier in the game because I just forgot to. I was a little too busy trying to get the game going. So this is like a very, very early game side quest back when Fist was like still alive. So I don't know what we'll do about that. If we talk to Anderson, I believe that progresses the game. So if we want to... Okay, let's go to Chorus. Let's see if we can talk to Jenna. Let's see if we can actually complete this quest right now with Fist literally dead. Let's give it a shot. Then we can go talk to Anderson. Oh, whoopsie-doopsie.
They told me it was you, but I didn't believe it. Shepard grew up and turned into a soldier.
Have we met?
Name's Finch. You probably don't remember me, but we ran together in the 10th Street Reds. Maybe you don't remember it yourself, running in a gang. None of the vids mention it when they're talking about you.
My history's a matter of public record. I got nothing to hide.
Really? What if someone gave an interview talking about Commander Shepard's history in the gangs? We're not trying to cause you trouble, Shepard. We just want a favor, for old time's sake. One of the Reds, Kurt Wiseman, got picked up by Turians. We'd like you to talk to the Turian guard in the bar and get Kurt out.
What was this guy arrested for?
Some stupid minor offense. Maybe he had a little red sand. You know how the Turians are.
Yeah, space
they declared
racism.
him a problem, and they're shipping him back for a trial.
What was one of the 10th Street Reds doing in Turian space?
Since your days, the Reds have expanded. We do some salvage, a little shipping here and there, that kind of thing.
You're not asking me to break Wiseman out of jail, are you?
Of course not. But word has it you've got some pull with the aliens. All we're asking you to do is pull a little for us.
Nah.
My gang days are over, Finch. Get out of my way.
Suit yourself, Shepard. If you change your mind, he's over in Cora's Den. Take care of this, and you'll never see me again. And Shepard, you might not run with the Reds anymore, but you really don't want us as your enemies.
Pathetic. See, hey Jenna.
Hi, I'll be with you in just a sec.
I need to talk to you about your work with CSAC.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This isn't a game, Jenna. These people are dangerous.
Now you sound like my sister. Why is everyone so concerned about me? I can take care of myself. I need to go. I'm not a stripper. I don't get paid to stand around and look pretty.
Stubborn girl.
I'm busy. The other waitresses can help you.
Anyway, let's...
Can I help you?
A human named Finch wanted me to use my authority as a Spectre to free Kurt Wiseman.
The xenophobe? I should have known he'd have friends. Thank you for the information. We'll increase the guard on his cell.
Yeah, suck it.
I knew you'd rat us out, Shepard. Now it's payback time. When we're through telling our story, the aliens will all know what the first human Spectre really is.
What do you want, Finch? What gets you out of my life?
What do I want? I want aliens off of Earth. I want the Council to stay out of humanity's business.
There it is. Space racism.
The 10th Street Reds was a gang, not an Earth First movement.
They're a human movement now. You think the Vids will make that distinction? I can find a dozen Reds who'll swear they saw you kill aliens for fun. Who's going to believe you then?
Real tempting.
If you want humanity to be strong, a smear attack on the first human Spectre is a bad idea.
The Spectre is right. This is humanity's chance to prove itself. There's even talk of earning a council seat.
Of course you'd side with Shepard. You want someone who's in bed with your kind.
Not yet, but give me another game or two.
We need the other races, Finch. That's the best way to strengthen humanity.
Fine, Shepard, you're right. You're not one of the Reds. Maybe you never were.
That man is a xenophobe who thinks he can blackmail a Spectre. You should have killed him.
That's not the way I work.
Goodbye, human. It'll be interesting to see what kind of Spectre you turn out to be.
I mean, I really did want to put one in him, but it was a pain.
Not now, I'm busy.
Hello, Chelik.
If you've got questions about Jenna, meet me at CSEC Academy.
Are you talking to
Push off. I never did nothing to you. Damn newcomers. Think they can run the place.
That's Chelik. What's he up to?
I guess we better go find out.
Right, okay. Well, maybe we can complete this side quest. Cool. I haven't locked myself out of it. I don't think this is one of the ones that carries over anything into the next game, but hey, since we're here, might as well save this girl from getting herself killed by the mob, I suppose.
Detective Chelik, come into my office. I wanted to... No offense, Commander, but what the hell were you thinking?
Excuse me?
You could have blown Jenna's cover.
We were just getting information, Chelik.
I gathered that. It might seem cold letting her take all the risk, but we're keeping a close eye on her.
Do you really need to risk her life to get the information you want?
This job isn't easy and it's usually unpleasant. I'll take help anywhere I can find it. But since you're so concerned with her safety, maybe there's a way we can help each other.
Shrewd, Detective. Very shrewd.
As part of the job. Now, are you gonna help me or not?
You're a smart guy, Chelik. Figure out another way.
I do have several contingencies. She's just my option A. I'll cut her loose, even get her out of Cora's den, no strings attached. But that still leaves my case unsolved. I could still use your help.
I'll help you, but I need some details.
I'm trying to track down an illegal arms producer. I just need some of their product. Thanks to Jenna's intel, I've learned there's a seller here on the Citadel. Meet our man named Jax, pick up the mods, and bring them back here. That'll give me everything I need.
Why are you so concerned about these mods?
We have access to some of the most sophisticated weaponry there is.
Oh.
It's what gives us our edge. what do you suppose happens when we lose that edge?
Yeah.
Give criminals an advantage we can't afford to let them keep.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Hey, remember how I said at the end of the last episode that the way that America responded to 9/11 influenced the ways that this game sort of deals with the ways that, like, just influences the way that this game is made? The whole, like, oh, the police needs the best weapons they could possibly get their hands on, because what if the criminals have good weapons then? Oh, well, it's... yeah, there's some of that in here, too.
I'll persuade Jax to tell me where these mods are coming from.
No. You tip Jax off, and all my leads will disappear faster than you can say bad bust.
Where can I find this Jax?
Jax is down in the lower level of the markets. I'll send word through our channels that you're the buyer. Good luck, Commander.
Militarized police is a bad idea. Just saying that out loud right now, that militarizing the police is a bad idea. In fact, police should, there should be as few lethal weapons as possible involved in policing, just broadly speaking. Hot take from me. Because, like, if the only way that you can police a community is by, like, murdering them before they murder you, you have fucked up, like, a lot. Many hundreds of times along the way. Like, it's like... How the fuck do you get to that point and go, no, we're doing the right thing?
Hold it. That's close enough, Army. You got my payment?
I didn't come here to look.
Show her the goods.
Looks good.
Damn straight it is. These mods are the best on the market. Now hand over my credits.
Here you go.
Here you go. Enjoy it. Come on, boys. We're done here.
That's what weirds me out about conversations around the police, because, like, people who are very in favor of the police have these insane fever dreams where they imagine, like, the moment that you don't have, like, a heavily armed police force pointing guns at everybody all the time, there's just criminals with machine guns swarming the streets, like, which, like, no, that's not how anything has worked ever in the history of anything. Good grief.
Commander, I hear you have something for me.
Here's your shipment, Chelik.
Excellent. This is everything I need. Maybe more than I need. Here, Commander, take this. I won't need it, and you've earned some payment for your work. I appreciate your help. It shows a lot of integrity. You didn't need to do anything after I let Jenna go. Now I need to get these mods into evidence. Thanks again, Shepard.
Like, this is just a group of people who have these, like, insane, fevered nightmares of, like, Mad Max gangs roving the streets and, like rampant feudalism being imposed on the world. And it's like, it's as though they can only see either complete social control enforced at the end of weapons, like, either that or else complete and utter, like, destructive might makes right feudalist anarchy. Like, those are the only two world states that exist in these people's heads. And it's a binary, and if you don't have one, then you will absolutely have the others. Like, the moment you let go of, a little bit of control, wow, boom, everything explodes. And it's just like, fucking hell, it's not how anything in the history of the world has ever worked. Like, nothing is that black and white. Nothing is that simple. It's a brain disease, man. Like, it's... like, these people are so scared. Hello, Shoreman. Oh, shells.
Yeah, what is it?
Seems the owner didn't like the way you played their games.
Doran didn't have a clue what I was doing. He assumed I was cheating.
I know Doran. If he says you're cheating, you're cheating.
I was just tipping the scales in my favor, only as an experiment.
Still sounds like cheating to me.
To you, maybe. But this device is merely intended to simulate situations and record results. Recording losses is easy, of course. Nobody notices those.
Why do you need to record these outcomes?
Ah, now you're getting to the heart of it. I've spent the last 5 years developing a system that can accurately predict wins and losses on the Quasar. I just need a few more recorded wins and I can complete the algorithms.
Can you do that? Isn't that illegal?
It's illegal to use my system, but I won't use it. I'll sell it to others. I just need a few more wins recorded.
No.
I think I'll take my chances the old-fashioned way.
Suit yourself. Well, I have some calculations to do. Goodbye.
Not interested in gambling, my friend. Bye.
It's not what I heard.
And what did you hear exactly?
Hey, Jenna came back looking for work. Thanks for getting her out of Cora's den.
I was glad to help out.
Yeah, everyone seems real happy to have her back.
I sense that you are less than pleased with her return.
I'm glad she's out of the den. I'd just forgotten what it was like to have her around. I haven't had a decent tip since she got back.
Anyway, progress the story.
I'm glad you came, Shepard. I heard what...
The Normandy's been grounded.
I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to warn you, but there was no way to get a message to you before you docked. I know you're pissed off right now, but you can't give up. They all think this is over, but we both know it's not. You have to go to Ilos. You have to stop Saren from using the conduit.
There's only one ship that can get me into the Terminus systems undetected, and she's grounded.
Citadel controls locked out all the Normandy's systems, but if we override the Ambassador's orders, we can get them to bring the Normandy back online. You can be in the Terminus systems before anyone even knows you're gone.
What's the plan?
I can unlock the Normandy from one of the consoles in the Citadel Control Center. You'll have a few minutes before anyone realizes what happened.
That's a restricted area patrolled by armed guards. How are you going to get in?
Leave that to me. Just make sure you're in the Normandy when the systems come back online.
There's got to be a better way.
Ambassador Udina issued the lockdown order. If I can hack into the computer in his office, maybe I can override it.
He will not just stand by while you use his computer.
Hopefully he won't be there. If he is, I'll just have to think of something.
The Ambassador will not forgive this, Captain. You will be charged with treason, a capital offense.
We don't have a lot of options. I break into the Ambassador's computer, or I take my chances with the patrols in Citadel Control.
It's your call, Captain.
I'll break into the Ambassador's office. He made this personal. You ready to get the hell off this station, Commander?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll take care of the lockdown. You get down to the Normandy and tell Joker to stand by.
Yeah, you better discuss your plan as loudly as possible in the middle of this bar full of people so that nobody knows what's going on. You get down to the Normandy and tell Joker to stand by and be ready. Anyway, I'm gonna give it one last shot at the markets. Maybe some flag or setting has reset now and I can get Conrad's last interaction. If not, oh well. Yeah, no luck there. To CSEC then.
Reporter Kalisa Al-Jilani recently attempted to land an interview with Commander Shepard, the first human Spectre. Commander Shepard answered difficult questions, demonstrating that under that military uniform is a keen diplomatic mind. We'll have exclusive footage later today.
Punch him. Punch him.
Anderson, what are you doing here? I didn't send...
Yeah, suck it.
Let's go. Get us out of here, Joker. Now.
Suck it, Udina. Anyway, can't go back to the Citadel anymore. Not an option. So that is all locked out from us, but we can still complete any other remaining side quests that might be worth, dealing with. Antaeus and Hades Gamma. But I don't believe any of these... No, I'm pretty sure none of these actually carry over. Missing survey team, though, might... Okay, let's go to Hades Gamma. Resolve that missing survey team thing. Then it is time to head to Ilos. Well, that planet is not useful. That planet is not useful. Only Ilos is interesting, I suppose. In the golden age of the Protheans, Ilos was a verdant world dotted with the spires and arches of magnificent cities. Even casual observation shows that this is no longer the case. Ilos has been devastated by means unknown. Its entire surface changed to the color of rust. The atmosphere shows heightened levels of oxygen. Wildfires, presumably ignited by lightning strikes, can be seen burning on the dark side. This indicates that most, if not all, respirating animal life forms have died off. Surface gravity is a comfortable 1.17 standard G. And off we go.
Shepard, may I speak with you?
I was just thinking about you.
I have been thinking about you too, and what we are about to face. I do not know what is going to happen on Ilos. I hope we will stop Saren, of course, but part of me fears we are already too late. There is something I must tell you, in case we fail.
We're not going to fail. I promise.
Please, I am not looking for comfort. Saren might already have the conduit. It is time to be completely honest with each other. These could be our last moments together. Our last chance to show each other how we feel. I want this to be special.
We don't have to do this. Not unless you're sure.
I have never been more sure of anything in my life. Will you join with me, Shepard? Let our bodies and minds unite.
I thought you'd never ask.
This is where I get demonetized.
By the goddess. That was incredible, Shepard.
Let's go again! Nah.
You were incredible.
5 minutes ETA to the Mu relay.
I had better go. Duty calls. You would not want to keep Joker waiting. Shepard, whatever happens on Ilos, I just wanted to say thank you for everything.
So one thing about that love scene, which is gonna have to wait because there's more cutscenes.
Commander? We've got company.
Have their sensors picked us up yet?
Well, stealth systems are engaged. Unless we get close enough for a visual, they won't have any idea we're here.
Picking up some strange readings from the planet's surface.
Take us down, Joker. Lock in on the coordinates.
Negative on that, Commander. The nearest landing zone's 2 clicks away.
We'll never make it in time on foot. Get us something close.
There is nowhere closer. I've looked.
Drop us in the Mako.
You need at least 100 meters of open terrain to pull off a drop like that. The most I can find near Saren is 20.
20 meters? No way we can make a drop in there.
We have to try.
Find another landing zone!
There is no other landing zone!
The descent angle's too steep.
It's our only option.
It's not an option, it's a suicide run. We don't...
I can do it.
Joker?
I can do it.
Gear up and head down to the Mako. Joker, drop us right on top of that bastard.
Right. So, the thing about that love scene is that it's completely sexless. It's like on the scale of things which are meant to be erotic or sexy, it's like oh, there's barely you sort of barely get the hint that they are naked, and there's like some touching and some artful camera angles as they sort of vaguely move around each other towards some kissing. It's like, it's, as sex scenes go, it's like, it's not exactly spicy. if you're familiar with like any kind of like erotic media, it's like this is like baby's first nothing, right? Like it's the kind of thing that you could play that on like TV in prime time and it would be fine. Like no one would get up in arms about it. So you want to guess what the Americans did? Yeah, no, they got up in arms about it, and they got up in arms about it specifically because you could be the lady shepherd who kissed the alien who looks like a girl who's another girl. And that, oh, like, that's pornography. That's what that is. It's like the girl who kisses the girl. That, whoa, oh, you can't have that. That is the pornographicness of which you can't have. And there were news reports, and Fox News, of course, was all over it, and CNN, and people like, oh, the new video game Mass Effect encourages you to have gay sex with aliens, which, like, first of all, it's not a bad thing, but also, like, it was a whole thing. It wasn't quite to the level of Grand Theft Auto Hot Coffee mod, although it was that kind of a thing. It was back when politicians still thought that they could score cheap culture war points by going, oh, video games corrupting our youth with indecent imagery, and all that bullshit. And, I mean, fucking hell. It was a whole thing. I remember seeing the news reports in Denmark, where I live in, like, we're pretty, compared to the Americans, pretty freaking free-spirited society when it comes to, like, sex stuff. But it was a whole fucking thing. And kids don't you don't remember this these days, but one of the reasons why the only same-sex romance option in Mass Effect 1 is FemShep with Liara. And this is the only same-sex option that you get, is specifically because EA and, like, the publisher and BioWare themselves and their leadership, they anticipated that reaction. They knew it was gonna happen. And they knew that there was absolutely no way in hell that a game with an explicit romance scene, like an explicit love scene, air quotes, explicit, like, it was sexless. It was fucking nothing, right? Like, it was just like these two naked 3D models where you saw a butt, like, one time, sort of moving vaguely against one another. It's like no thrusting, no moaning, no nothing. It was sexless. But that, with two male characters, was just simply never going to happen. That would have ignited a hell of a firestorm because, as always, lesbianism, like girls fucking girls, is not seen as the same kind of threat to male sexuality that dudes fucking dudes is. Girls fucking girls, oh, well, that's just for the pleasure of men, after all. That's a show that they're putting on for us. That's for our benefit, so that's fine. You can commercialize that, and you can kind of get away with that. But dudes fucking dudes, oh, now you're threatening the heteropatriarchy. Like, now you're threatening the traditional masculine gender role. Ooh, we can't do that. And people react, like, it's one of the weird things about homophobia is that homosexuality among men is, like, demonized as this, like, complete degeneracy of spirit, body, and mind. Like, this horrible disease, this awful, terrible, like, oh, men being turned effeminate and weak, and it's like this, the death of masculinity, and oh god, the death of the entire social order. Whereas homosexuality amongst women is just like, it's not like they just need they need a penis inside, and then they'll come around. Like, oh yeah, it's this belief almost that lesbians aren't real. But that was the sexual politics of the time. It's like you could just barely get away, and even still, like weeks of fucking news reports, you could barely get away with having two girls do a single kiss and a naked butt on screen. You could sort of barely get away with that because that shit was still seen as non-threatening enough. That is like, oh yeah, that's just titillating, that's just fun. But two dudes, especially if one of those dudes was an alien, nah, not gonna happen. Like, you're never gonna get to fuck Rex, because that simply would never be permitted. And that, too, is part of the history of Mass Effect. Like, that's part of its sexual politics. That's why, as we talked about with the Asari, like, the Asari are coded from the very start of the game, from the very beginning. They are the alien sex babes, right? Like, and the camera frames them as such, the character design frames them as such, that these are the hot alien sex babes, like what you see on Star Trek, that Captain Kirk is always smooching with. And part of that is because, like, that's why they could just barely get away with letting Liara sex up Shepard, because they're a species, they don't have a gender technically, they just present female, all of them, every single one. Weirdly, no non-binary Asari, although the entire species is non-binary. They all have the boobies, they all have the feminine slender hips, and they do the makeup. None of them present masculine. How strange. But that's part of the sexual politics of the game. That's why, like, that's part of the reason why the Asari were designed the way that they were, to be the alien sex pot things, is because, again, that was the only thing that would be acceptable. If the Asari had actually fucked with gender on top of all of that, like if it had been a woman fucking a non-binary character, where their gender specifically was they have no gender, like, because they're monogender, like there's no they don't have a concept of splitting along a binary like that. They only have like concepts of presentation. Again, it would not have been accepted. Like, EA would never have published it, even if BioWare wanted to do it. And BioWare leadership, as far as I remember by the accounts and by the reading I've done, BioWare leadership was also pushing back hard on having any same-sex options in the game, because they knew that threatened sales. It threatened sales, it threatened controversy, it threatened, like, it would be PR problems and lawsuits and all that kind of nonsense. It threatened the ability to get the game published. Over that fucking sex scene. That sexless teenage sort of barely, like, it's the softest of soft core. It's like not even any core in there. It's just soft. It's just soft lighting and the implication that some characters happen to be nude in the same room together for a bit. And then it's like what, 15 seconds, and then we cut to Shepard being fully clothed and just kind of sitting there, far with no cuddling, like no aftercare, no, just sitting on like a chair, like 10 feet away, being like, yes, this was good. We did the good sex. That is what the thing with what we done is, we did the good sex, and now I am fully dressed and I am nowhere near you whatsoever. It's because we don't want to imply intimacy. Like, it's kind of very, But yeah, I just wanted to bring it up. I remember being there when Mass Effect came out. I remember the fucking think pieces. I remember it. And it sucked. It was ass and garbage. It gets better from here, though. Slowly. But it does get better from here. Anyway, who do I want with me on Ilos? We want Liara, obviously. I think I might want... yeah, I think Ashley for this one. Because as I recall, the optional party members don't have quite as much of a dialogue thing going on down there. But I may be wrong about that. Anyway, that was a long rant, but like the sexual politics of Mass Effect are pretty cis-het. All in all, they don't interact with queerness nearly as much as you think they should. And part of the reason why is that the culture at the time was simply not capable of allowing it. Like, the bigotry was just culturally too strong.
You two, keep moving inside now.
Sup, Captain Spaceballs? Here comes my tank.
We have to get inside this bunker before Saren finds the conduit. There is no way we're getting past that door with brute force.
Saren found a way to open it. There must be some kind of security override somewhere in this complex.
We will have to find some way to get it up and running again.
Yoink. Get some shields on. Okay. I guess this way? Not much point to going up that elevator. It can't jump down? Oh my god, okay. Not much point to going up that elevator then. Thank god they all use exactly the same elevator control panel system as they do on the Citadel. And that it's not overgrown. Or disabled in any way.
This place still has power. It must be running off its own generator.
This must be the command center for the entire complex. Saren's troops must have sealed the doors from here after he went inside. We will have to figure out how to disengage the security lockdown if we ever want to get inside that bunker.
Yes, hello, Geth. How y'all doing? I've got an order of bullets here for a Mr. Geth. Is there a Mr. Geth present? Where's the last one? Up top, maybe? Or just dead. Okay, dead. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I could activate those to help me. Didn't need them. 'Cause I'm cheating. Right, security room up there. So stairs need to find stairs over here. Ramp. Okay, well, wheelchair accessible. Very progressive.
Come. come. Saren already has a head start. We have to go find him before he reaches the conduit.
Unless he's already found it. Then we're just walking into a trap.
That is a chance we will have to take.
Hold on. Something's happening.
Too late. Unable to... Invading fleets. No escape.
Sounds like some kind of message, but I don't recognize the language.
It is probably in Prothean. This recording must be 50,000 years old. No wonder we cannot understand it.
The message is all broken up, but I recognize some of the words. It's a warning against the Reaper invasion.
Of course. Between the beacons and the cipher, an understanding of the Prothean language would have been transferred into your mind.
Not safe. Seek refuge inside the archives.
What's it saying? Can you make out anything useful?
Fought Reapers. The Citadel. Overwhelmed. Only hope.
Act of desperation. The conduit. All is lost.
This is one of those, like, you can kind of tell when the voice actor gets told, like, they get the script in front of them where it says static, then there's some words, and there's static, then some words. They don't get the full sentence of whatever it is that the thing is supposed to be saying. They just get the fragments, and then they just say the fragments in a way that's clear, so the audio editor can kind of mix it in. Some of that sounds pretty clearly like the voice actor was just, like, saying the bits of the line that they had, but they kind of forgot to imply in their tone that, like, some words came before and some words came after.
It said something about the conduit, but it's too degraded to help. We should go.
Cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped.
Oh, don't be such a defeatist.
Oh my, a convenient elevator! I wonder where this elevator will lead me.
Oh, hey, it leads me right back to a place I've already been. Oh, conveniently loops back on itself.
That's just like in Dark Souls.
I do appreciate looping level design like that when you don't have to backtrack through everything because it gets you. Yeah, I don't want to run this entire thing.
I have spent my life studying the Protheans, but I never dreamed I would discover anything like this. This bunker might have been the last refuge of their entire species. Just imagine what mysteries it might hold. Imagine what secrets it might reveal.
Hey, try to remember why we're here. Saren, the conduit, the fate of the entire known galaxy.
I am sorry. I was swept up in the moment. I just hope we have the opportunity.
What are all those things on the wall? Some kind of containers?
They look like stasis pods. The Protheans probably tried to...
I think I'm driving a little too fast. If I get any more dialogue, I'm going to stop and listen to it. But Ilos really is one of the better designed areas in the game. Like, just visually. It's very striking. Especially with all the trees and the...
What is happening?
It's a trap! Saren must have set an ambush.
I do not think Saren is behind this.
And we get the Mass Effect main theme, too. This is a beautiful, beautiful theme.
I have studied the Protheans for decades, but I have never felt this sense of foreboding. What will we find down there?
I'm not putting faith in anybody being on our side. Not anymore.
Yeah, you wouldn't, Ashley, would you?
You are not Prothean, but you are not machine either. This eventuality was one of many that was anticipated. This is why we sent our warning through the beacons.
Looks like some kind of VI program. Pretty badly damaged.
I do not sense the taint of indoctrination upon any of you. Unlike the other that passed recently, perhaps there is still hope.
This is incredible. An actual Prothean VI, and I can understand it.
I have been monitoring your communications since you arrived at this facility. I have translated my output into a format you will comprehend. My name is Vigil. You are safe here for the moment, but that is likely to change. Soon, nowhere will be safe.
Are you some kind of artificial intelligence program?
I am an advanced non-organic analysis system with personality imprints from Kesad Aishan, Chief Overseer of the Ilos Research Facility.
Why did you bring me here?
You must break a cycle that has continued for millions of years. But to stop it, you must understand, or you will make the same mistakes we did. The Citadel is the heart of your civilization and the seat of government, as it was with us, and as it has been with every civilization that came before us. But the Citadel is a trap. The station is actually an enormous mass relay, one that links to dark space, the empty void beyond the galaxy's horizon. When the Citadel relay is activated, the Reapers will pour through, and all you know will be destroyed.
How come nobody ever noticed the Citadel was an inactive mass relay?
The Reapers are careful to keep the greatest secrets of the Citadel hidden. That is why they created a species of seemingly benign organic caretakers.
Keepers.
The Keepers maintain the station's most basic functions. They enable any species that discovers the Citadel to use it without fully understanding the technology. Reliance on the Keepers ensures no other species will ever discover the Citadel's true nature. Not until the relay is activated and the Reapers invade.
So this ties back to what Sovereign was saying. By using our technology, you develop along the pathways that we desire. The Keepers is one layer of that system.
How do the Reapers survive out in dark space?
We have only theories. The researchers here came to believe the Reapers enter prolonged states of inactivity to conserve energy. This allows them to survive the thousands and thousands of years it takes for organic civilization to rebuild itself. But in this state, they are vulnerable. By retreating beyond the edges of the galaxy, they ensure no one will accidentally discover them. They keep their existence hidden until the Citadel relay is activated.
If he turns on the relay, the Reapers can wipe out the Council and the Citadel fleet in one fell swoop.
That was our fate. Our leaders were dead before we even realized we were under attack. The Reapers seized control of the Citadel, and through it, the mass relays. Communication and transportation across our empire were crippled. Each star system was isolated, cut off from the others. Easy prey for the Reaper fleets. Over the next decades, the Reapers systematically obliterated our people. World by world, system by system, they methodically wiped us out.
Again, notice the theme at play here. The Reapers cut off the government, they cut off the coordination, they cut off cooperation, because they rely on people being divided and disunited in order to win. So remember the game, what it has talked about in terms of control, in terms of like how humanity approaches the other. All over the game, over and over and over again, we have these humans like, aliens can't tell me what to do. Aliens, I don't like aliens. They're strange and weird, but also we want them to give us power. We want them to this complete unwillingness to engage, unwillingness to cooperate, unwillingness to be part of a community where you have to sacrifice for the other as they sacrifice for you, at the same time while being incredibly demanding, like just wanting and wanting and wanting. Like, we want more respect, we want more power, we want more influence, we want more everything, we want everyone to respect us and pay attention to us and do what we say, but we don't want to do what anyone else does, and we don't want to give anything to them because, fuck you. Fuck you got mine attitude, right? Like, that very much characterizes the humans in this game, the human factions. The Reapers rely on that attitude. That is what the Reapers ultimately, like, that's what they represent, ultimately, is that complete selfishness where everything and everyone else just exists as resources for the Reapers to consume. That's their worldview. That's how they see the rest of the galaxy. That's how they see every other form of life. It's just, this is a resource for us to consume, and we're not interested in engaging with you, we're not interested in talking to you, we're not interested in being part of anything with you, we are just interested in using you until you are gone. And then we do it again, and then we do it again, and then we do it again. And in that sense, the Reapers work as metaphors for many things, like capitalism is one, because capitalism too is predicated on this eternal, constant cycle of consumption that simply cannot continue, and which is inhuman and which hurts and kills people. But it's also like the fundamental psychotic selfishness that exists at the heart of racism and bigotry. Like this complete, like, this is me and the people who are like me and mine, and anyone is different from me, fuck you. Get destroyed, get consumed, get used as slave labor, get eaten, fuck off. Like, you have no say over me. I don't want to engage with you. I don't want to be in the world with you. And thus the Reapers don't want to be in the world with any other living species. They want everything and everything that isn't them to be wiped out or else subjugated to serve them. That's what the Reapers are, this control over everything. And that's part of the theme, is like that humanity has to learn to stop being such little selfish dickwads. And also the other species, like the other species also, like the Asari are ancient and arrogant. The Turians are like, just military and order, military and order, military and order. This is the only thing we care about. And the Solarians are cowards. Like in terms of how they're characterized, like they're duplicitous. They are they tend to be liars. They tend to be more cowardly. Like they tend to not want to stand up in front of everybody else. The game also takes care to try and break those stereotypes, like we talked about. Like, as you get to know, for example, Rex, you get to understand that there's a lot more to Krogans than just, I'm space Klingon. Like, I'm Mass Effect Klingons. I care about fighting and honor, and that's the only thing I care about. But Rex actually reveals, especially on Vermeer, a deep well of emotion that he really deeply, desperately cares about the fate of his people. He really cares about what's happened to his race. This, like, genetic genocide that's been inflicted on them. Like, and with Garrus, of course, like, you get, like, where the Turians otherwise represent, like, policing and control and order and discipline and military, then Garrus is this character who's like, no, fuck all that shit. I'm tired of being nice. I want to go ape shit. Like, he's that character, right? And like, so you get these nuances, which the game doesn't always handle gracefully. We talked about that with the Asari, like the way that they're framed visually and aesthetically. It doesn't always handle it gracefully, but it tries to force you, through interacting with these characters, through playing, to develop a more nuanced view. And one of the problems with that, though, is that Rex and Garrus are optional characters in Mass Effect 1. Like, that's something that's always frustrated the hell out of me, that Rex and Garrus and even Tali are optional. You don't have to recruit them. Like, you don't have to spend time with them or understand them if you don't want to, which is like, maybe the thing you should do is actually know you do have to spend time with them. You do have to understand them even if you don't want. You do have to see their point of view, actually. That's kind of necessary in order to beat the fucking Reapers. But be that as it may, that, again, something that gets better in the later games. But this is the core. Like, this is the central thing in Mass Effect, is that the world, the universe is full of technologies that push us away from each other. Like we talked about, Reaper, Sovereign, they leave this technology behind because then the species that emerge will develop along pathways that they desire, right? And one of the things that they desire is that these species will not be so united that they can put up actual resistance. And the universe is full of those technologies. Like, even now, and this is, again, coming back to my own politics, Marx talks a lot about the ways that technology is used to alienate us from each other and alienate us from our own worlds. And like, that goes back to Marx. Like, whether or not you agree with him, and lots of socialist scholars since then have kind of gone, well, maybe there's some other stuff also there. But that's like a fundamental thing in socialist thinking, is like the ways that human beings are alienated from each other by technology, alienated from each other by the technologies of capitalism. And even within liberalism and within capitalism and within right-wing thinking, you get these same strains of ideas. Like, for example, minimalism as an aesthetic direction. And my God, I promise I'll play this video game at some point during this video. Minimalism as an aesthetic direction is specifically a reaction to the rampant consumerism of capitalism. Like, it's specifically an attempt to counteract the focus on consumption. Like, it's specifically an attempt to sort of move away from like feeling alienated from the things you own, instead of just owning more and more and more and more stuff, just all this stuff that doesn't really mean anything to you. It just matters how much of it you have. Just minimalists like to say, okay, let's pick a few things and then develop a real relationship with those things, like really care about them, stop being alienated from the world around us. And so many aesthetic and political directions are about finding a way out of that alienation, finding a way away from the alienation that we feel from each other, finding a way towards community. This is true even on the ultra far right, like even these like fucking fascist shitheads, paleogenetic like ultra nationalists. They too are ultimately looking for a way to combat their alienation, like that, or at least that's part of it. Also bigotry and racism and all that bullshit. But like a big part of that, that whole political direction is belonging, is like saying, like constructing this fucked up imaginary thing of like, oh, but you're white, so you're with us because you're white or whatever. Or if it's the ultra nationalists saying, oh, you're French, so that means like you're with the French and like we're us against all of the others. Like they then immediately turn again towards alienation from everyone else except the ones inside whatever arbitrary category they've sort of defined for themselves. But it's still an attempt to find an antidote to alienation. Like, that's part of it. Find some way to find community and find togetherness and fight against loneliness, really. And Mass Effect is, in part, went on a whole journey there. Mass Effect is, in part, about that. It's in part about how do you stop being alienated from the other. Like, how do you get people to stop being alienated from one another? And one of the answers, unfortunately, it proposes is, well, what if we were united by an outside threat? Which is, boy, it's not a coincidence that the fascists love using that one as well. It imagines the threat of the Reapers, like this apocalypse threat, and says, couldn't we unite against that? Like, if we had that hanging over us, couldn't we use that as a vector for unity, a vector to find a way to come together and all stand together as like one united existence? And that's my political criticism of Mass Effect, is that one of the ways that I think it, ideologically speaking, isn't great, is that it still falls back on imagining, oh, well, there's an enemy out there that wants us all dead just for existing. There's an enemy out there, and so we need to unite against that enemy, which is still friend-enemy thinking. Like, it's still that division thinking of like where some things have to be separate from a right to exist in order to define a community against it, which I don't like very much. But that's not the only way you can interpret it. You can also see the Reapers as essentially a representative of the universe, like an amoral, uncaring universe that doesn't operate on human morality, that doesn't operate according to our logic, that just kind of goes. And the Reapers then would represent essentially entropy. And then Mass Effect is proposing that, hey, we are all subject to the same ultimate threat, which is death, which is entropy, which is finiteness. And surely we can all be united in the universal experience that we are all of us gonna fucking die. And we need each other. In the life that we have before we die, we fucking need each other. Desperately, we need each other. And we can't be alienated. We cannot be separate from each other. Because it kills us. And like, that's already the problem. The only thing that grants you relief from the misery and pain of death, and like the inevitability of oblivion, is togetherness. Other people. Like the care of other people who are different from you, who are vastly different from you, who may be, like, kind of unpleasant to you, but who are still fellow travelers, you know? We're all human. Well, not in the Mass Effect universe, but we're all people. And, like, we are united by so many fundamental experiences that nothing else should be able to push us up. Like, it shouldn't be possible to push us apart, right? That is some of the things that are at play. Mass Effect has many themes. All art does. All good art, especially. But that's some of what's at play here. Like, some of the stuff that the Reapers represent. And by the way, if you've been listening to me this whole time talking and you're just like, what the fuck, this guy's full of shit, you may be right. Maybe you have your own interpretation. Maybe you have your own understanding. What are the Reapers? Like, what do they represent as a thing? When you see the Reapers, when you see these things coming for all of creation to obliterate it, what do you think of? What dark force in the universe does your mind compare it to, subconsciously or consciously? When you see the way that the council races bicker and squabble with each other, what does that remind you of? Like, that counterproductive, constant jockeying for position and power and unwillingness, like, to give ground to the other. What does that remind you of? What does that make you think of? Like, what life experiences does that connect with for you? And in there, you will find your understanding of Mass Effect, your understanding of this story. I have mine. I've been espousing it this entire playthrough. You do not have to agree with any of it. Not a word, not a sentence. You don't have to agree with it. The reason I go off on these rants, the reason I go off on all this bullshit, is because I find so much joy in these games and in art, like in literature, in comics. I find so much joy discovering meaning in it, like discovering that it talks about things that I think about, things that I worry about, things that I'm scared of. I'm terrified of death, terrified of it, and so a lot of the games, like, I experience them through that lens. They become about that for me in some way or another. And when I see these games talk about it, when I see them go, hey, yeah, you know what? Death, not a great time. We feel it too. I feel less alone. I feel a certain togetherness. Like, the people who made this game, they have that too. Like, they are in that world too. That stuff touches them the same way it touches me, and that matters. That's why art matters, is because you can touch the soul of someone else through art. Like, just for a second, you just get the slightest glimpse that they are like you. That this shit exists in their heads as well. And even if the things that they're thinking about aren't the things that you're thinking about, suddenly you understand that, oh shit, that's part of someone else's. Like, you gain empathy, you become more able to understand other people, and therefore also yourself. That's fucking beautiful. Which is why I spent the last, how long have I been going? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Who knows? I lost count of time. Which is why I go off on this shit, because I want so badly, for anyone who happens to watch this Let's Play, which is going to get a couple of 100 views, to look at art, and you don't have to take the same thing away from it that I do. You really don't. You not for a second. You don't have to take anything away from it the same way that I do. But just that you take something, like that you find the same kind of thing that I do. Like that moment of connection, that moment of, oh, thank God, it's not just me. Or, holy shit, like, yes, that matters to me. That's actually important. That's what I want. That's what I want for people who watch my content, is that the ability to have that moment of discovery. Whatever you take away from it, that's not important. Well, it's a little bit important. Don't become a fascist. Please. But whatever you take away from it, like, just take something. Take something. Don't just let it wash over you, because that's... Oh God, here comes another 10 minutes. You can skip ahead if you want to. It's fine. But the thing that frustrates me and scares me a little bit, and the thing that gets to me is when I talk about a theme, any theme, and someone goes like, I don't see it, because that's fine. Like, you don't have to see anything fuck it, doesn't matter. But that they say, no, there's nothing there to see. Like, that frustrates the shit out of me when people hear me talk about theme and story and meaning and semiotics and semantics, and they just say, no, there's nothing there to see. Stop looking. Stop looking. Stop caring. Who cares? It doesn't matter. There's nothing there to see. It's just escapism. It's just you play the video game, then you have fun, and then you don't have fun, and that's all that matters. It's the only thing that's there. And that's bullshit. Like, that, no, fuck you. Like, don't be that. Like, that's one thing I will say. Don't be that. Like, take the opposite away from the game than me, if you must, but take something. Because that whole, there's no meaning there. That into anti-intellectualism and anti-humanism of, like, don't have empathy, don't have imagination, don't seek meaning, don't look for an experience beyond the surface. Don't look for it. That's cuck shit. If you look for it, then you're a cuck or a beta or fucking whatever. Like, if you look for something more than what's obvious on the surface, then you're a stupid moron who's mentally weak or what. Like, that shit where they that refusal to even consider that meaning is possible. That scares the shit out of me. Because again, what art is, and I will die on this fucking hill, what art is the ability to connect with someone else's soul. Like, they make this creative thing, they tell a story, they create characters, they just make worlds, like even fucking Minecraft. They make this space of story or artistic expression, whatever it is, if it's sculpture or artwork or book or whatever it is, for you to have some kind of connection with. Where there's connection there. It's the cure for the alienation. Well, maybe not the cure, but it's at least relief. And when you just refuse to even think about it, when you refuse to even say there can be meaning, you don't have to see it, like, but just allow for the meaning to be possible. And then if you're not interested, you don't have to go looking for it. It's your life, do whatever the hell you want. But don't say that the meaning isn't possible, because it's the death of art. It's the death of beauty. Anyway, were we playing a video game at some point in the last 20 minutes? I think we were. Let's pick up... Let's close this and pick a response. Sorry. I just, when I go off on this shit, I have to roll the stone all the way uphill so that it can roll back down and I can push it the next time.
The war was lost. If you'd surrendered, they might have let you live.
No offer of surrender was ever given. Our enemy had a single goal: the extinction of all advanced organic life. Through the Citadel, the Reapers had access to all our records, maps, census data. Information is power, and they knew everything about us. Their fleets advanced across every settled region of the galaxy. Some worlds were utterly destroyed. Others were conquered, their populations enslaved. These indoctrinated servants became sleeper agents under Reaper control. Taken in as refugees by other Protheans, they betrayed them to the machines. Within a few centuries, the Reapers had killed or enslaved every Prothean in the galaxy. They were relentless, brutal, and absolutely thorough.
I don't understand. Where did the Reapers go after they conquered your people?
Our worlds were stripped bare, harvested by the indoctrinated slaves. Everything of value, all resources, all technology was taken. Certain that all advanced organic life had been extinguished, the Reapers retreated back through the Citadel relay into dark space, sealing it behind them. All evidence of the Reaper invasion had been wiped away. Only their indoctrinated slaves were left behind, abandoned. Mindless husks, no longer capable of independent thought, the indoctrinated soon starved or died of exposure. The genocide of the Protheans was complete.
What do the Reapers get out of this? Why do they keep repeating this pattern of genocide over and over?
The Reapers are alien, unknowable. Perhaps they need slaves or resources. More likely they are driven by motives and goals organic beings cannot hope to comprehend. In the end, what does it matter? Your survival depends on stopping them, not in understanding them.
You said you brought me here for a reason. Tell me what I need to do.
The conduit is the key. Before the Reapers attacked, we Protheans were on the cusp of unlocking the mysteries behind mass relay technology. Ilos was a top-secret facility. Here, researchers worked to create a small-scale version of a mass relay, one that linked directly to the Citadel, the hub of the relay network.
The conduit is not a weapon. It is a backdoor onto the Citadel.
How did you manage to stay hidden?
All official records of our project were destroyed in the initial attack on the Citadel. While the Prothean Empire came crashing down, Ilos was spared. We severed all communication with the outside, and our facility went dark. The personnel retreated underground into these archives. To conserve resources, everyone was put into cryogenic stasis. I was programmed to monitor the facility and wake the staff when the danger had passed. But the genocide of an entire species is a long, slow process. Years passed, decades, centuries. The Reapers persisted, and my energy reserves were dwindling.
How did you survive?
I began to disable the life support of non-essential personnel. First support staff, then security. One by one, their pods were shut down to conserve energy. Eventually, only the stasis pods of the top scientists remained active. Even these were in danger of failing when the Reapers finally retreated back through the Citadel relay.
There were hundreds of stasis pods out there. You just shut them down? You killed them?
You were programmed to protect them, not kill them.
This outcome was not completely unforeseen. My actions were a result of contingency programming entered on my creation.
I bet they didn't tell the non-essential staff about this contingency.
I saved key personnel. When the Reapers retreated, the top researchers were still alive. My actions are the only reason any hope remains. When the researchers woke, they realized the Prothean species was doomed. There were only a dozen individuals left, far too few to sustain a viable population. Yet they vowed to find some way to stop the Reapers from returning. A way to break the cycle forever. And they knew the Keepers were the key.
I still don't understand what's going on here. Why is Saren trying to find the conduit?
The conduit gives him access to the Citadel and the Keepers. The Keepers are controlled by the Citadel. Before each invasion, a signal is sent through the station compelling the Keepers to activate the Citadel relay. After decades of feverish study, the scientists discovered a way to alter this signal. Using the conduit, they gained access to the Citadel and made the modifications. This time, when Sovereign sent the signal to the Citadel, the Keepers ignored it. The Reapers are trapped in dark space.
Saren can use the conduit to bypass all the Citadel's external defenses.
Correct. And once inside, he can transfer control of the station to Sovereign. Sovereign will override the Citadel systems and manually open the relay, and the cycle of extinction will begin again.
Is there any way we can stop them?
There's a data file in my console. Take a copy when you go. When you reach the Citadel's master control unit, upload it to the station. It will corrupt the Citadel's security protocols, and give you temporary control of the station. It might give you a chance against Sovereign.
Wait, where's the Citadel's master control unit? I've never heard of anything like that.
Through the conduit, follow Saren. He will lead you to your destination.
If the Reapers are trapped in dark space, how did Sovereign get here?
It is logical to assume the Reapers would leave one of their own behind after each extinction. A sentinel to pave the way for their inevitable return. Like those in dark space, Sovereign probably spent most of the last 50,000 years in a state of hibernation. Periodically, it would wake to analyze the situation. Keeping its existence hidden, it would evaluate the state of galactic civilization. And when the time was right, it would signal the Citadel and usher in the next Reaper invasion. But this time the signal failed. The Keepers did not respond. Sovereign's allies were trapped in the void. Alone, it was forced to try and discover what had gone wrong.
Sovereign's the largest ship in the galaxy. Why all this secret? Why not just attack the Citadel?
Sovereign is not invincible. Revealing its true nature would have united the forces of every organic species against it. Even a Reaper couldn't survive such odds. But the Reapers are patient. They will not rush into the unknown. Sovereign could have been planning this for centuries, moving deliberately, gathering allies. Slowly, it has assembled the pieces of the puzzle, working through agents to keep itself hidden. Saren is the most visible pawn of the Reapers, but I doubt he was the first. Now Sovereign has grown bold. Whether from confidence or desperation, I cannot say. But it is determined to reopen the portal to dark space.
What about the beacon on Eden Prime? And the one on Vermeer? What were they for?
At our apex, the beacons spanned the breadth of our empire. We used them as a single galaxy-wide network to transmit data and communications rapidly from world to world. Virtually all the beacons were destroyed during the invasion. But once the Reapers were gone, the survivors here on Ilos decided to risk sending out a message. We knew it was unlikely there were other survivors, but if there were, we wanted them to know about Ilos. We wanted to give them hope, so a message was sent across the network.
You could have exposed yourself to the Reapers.
In truth, we didn't expect any of the beacons would still function, but we had to try. If there were survivors, we had to reach them. The message was meant for our own people. It was coded so only organic beings could interpret it. We still didn't understand the power of Reaper indoctrination. We never realized it could lead an agent of the machines, like Saren, to this world. But it has also led you here. So perhaps we did not fail after all.
So when the Reapers created the Citadel, they created the Keepers as well?
A more likely scenario is that the Keepers were one of the early harvested civilizations, perhaps the very first. Perhaps they responded well to indoctrination, or the Reapers simply bred them to be obedient. In any case, they were left behind to operate and maintain the Citadel. But the Keepers are no longer directly controlled by Sovereign or its ilk. They evolved so that they only respond to the signals emitted by the Citadel itself. When the Protheans altered the Citadel's signals, they broke Sovereign's hold over the Keepers. Now, they are completely harmless.
Sovereign must have realized organic races were difficult to control.
A likely hypothesis. The Keepers evolved in an unanticipated direction. Non-organic servants like the Geth would be more predictable.
What happened to the survivors from the Conduit project?
They used the conduit to gain access to the Citadel, but the conduit is only a prototype. The portal only links in one direction, so they were trapped on the station. I do not know what became of them then. It is unlikely they found any food or water on the station. I fear they suffered a slow, grim death. I only know they succeeded in their mission to seal the relay. Your presence here proves their sacrifice was not in vain.
Saren's got enough of a head start. Grab that data file and let's go.
Yeah, I talked for a
Shepard,
while.
Are you sure? Who knows how much longer Vigil will be here? Even now the projection is weak. This might be our only chance to speak with it, our only link to the knowledge of the Protheans. It is the opportunity of a lifetime.
It might know something useful.
I will provide whatever information I can. My data banks, however, are limited to information directly related to stopping the Reaper invasion.
I've got the file. Come on.
The one you call Saren has not reached the conduit. Not yet. There is still hope if you hurry.
And off we go. Again, remarkable foresight from the Protheans to use exactly the same elevator interface as everywhere else in the galaxy.
All their culture, all their advanced technology, and the Protheans were taken in by the Reapers just as we were. They failed.
We can get there in time. Their plan only fails if we do, and I've come too far to watch Saren win.
Off we go! Bonk. Where am I at for levels? 26. Not quite max level. Maybe I should have done more side quests. Kinda wanted to be max level by the end, but oh well. It's not... It doesn't make that much of a difference in the next game. Moving right along. Should have left a bigger army to stop me.
There, the conduit. It's incredible.
We don't have time to admire the view. We have to get through that relay, and these Geth aren't gonna make it easy on us.
Oh, there he is. The large boy. The boy whomst is large.
Activate the defenses! Seal the station! The arms aren't moving. Systems not responding. Abandon the Citadel! Evacuate the Council! Citadel Control! Citadel Control, do you copy?
No. No, they do not. We're in some limited time bullshit here. Boom! Here's hoping that the Mako can survive interstellar travel.
Critical failures detected across all monitored systems. Please begin emergency evacuation procedure.
Really? All the crashing I've been doing with this thing and that's the thing that finally smashes it? Okay. Fine. Hello, Avina. Not interested in talking right now.
Critical failure detected across all emergency evacuation procedure. This is not a drill.
Mass Effect 1 ends in this episode, by the way. He's quite upset with the Keepers.
The Citadel's closing. They're sealing the station.
Don't let the enemy ships inside the arms.
Just kind of casually cruising through. Notice, by the way, that the Reapers are shaped like ticks. And octopuses. Like, there's multiple influences in their design language, but they're shaped like parasites. Both primitive and ugly. To a human mind, anyway.
Saren's locked the elevator. Suit up. We're going outside.
Here's one of the cooler set pieces. Oh, hello! Oh, you are large.
Damn Gath have us at a disadvantage, Commander. Synthetic bastards don't even need spacesuits out here.
Hey, level up. I need those skill points to survive. It's one of the cooler ideas, like the idea that you're kind of just running up the building, basically. Like using magnetic boots, essentially. Hello. Goodbye. Okay. Hey, Sovereign. How you doing there? Just, doing horrible space god stuff? Yeah. I know how it is. Sometimes you just got to be a terrible deity. think I've activated all the guns, right? Yeah. There goes the Geth dropship. Now, on a proper difficulty setting, this is genuinely a very hard series of battles. It's just, like I've said before, the Mass Effect combat system, the original anyway, just not my cup of tea, so we're easing our way through this. Do I have some kind of cover from this? Ouch. Okay, yeah. Even at this level... Oh, fuck off. Should probably equip something other than the thorium gas, shouldn't I? Even at the lowest difficulty setting, getting hit by those turrets is bad. Shepard, would you please, Shepard. Okay, sniper rifle time. There we go. Sneeped. Sneeped you. Okay, through the access hatch. Well, this is all very unfortunate. Here comes one of the better conversations in the game.
I was afraid you wouldn't make it in time, Shepard.
In time for what?
The final confrontation. I think we both expected it would end like this. You've lost. You know that, don't you? In a few minutes, Sovereign will have full control of all the Citadel systems. The relay will open. The Reapers will return.
I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve.
You survived our encounter on Vermeer, but I've changed since then. Improved. Sovereign has upgraded me.
You let Sovereign implant you? Are you insane?
I suppose I should thank you, Shepard. After Vermeer, I couldn't stop thinking about what you said. About Sovereign manipulating me. About indoctrination. The doubts began to eat away at me. Sovereign sensed my hesitation. I was implanted to strengthen my resolve. Now my doubts are gone. I believe in Sovereign completely. I understand that the Reapers need organics. Join us, and Sovereign will find a place for you, too.
Sovereign's controlling you through your implants. Don't you see that?
The relationship is symbiotic. Organic and machine, intertwined. A union of flesh and steel. The strengths of both, the weaknesses of neither. I am a vision of the future, Shepard. The evolution of all organic life. This is our destiny. Join Sovereign and experience a true rebirth.
Sovereign hasn't won yet. I can stop it from taking control of the station. Step aside and the invasion will never happen.
We can't stop it. Not forever. You saw the visions. You saw what happened to the Protheans. The Reapers are too powerful.
Some part of you must still realize this is wrong. You can fight this.
Maybe you're right. Maybe there is still a chance for... The implants. Sovereign is too strong. I'm sorry. It is too late for me.
It's not over yet. You can still redeem yourself.
Goodbye, Shepard. Thank you.
We have to stop Saren.
Vigil's data file worked. I've got control of all systems.
Quick! Open the station's arms! Maybe the fleet can take Sovereign down before he regains control of the station.
See if you can open a communications channel.
The Destiny Ascension. Main drives offline. Kinetic barriers down 40%. The Council is on board. I repeat, the Council is on board.
Normandy to the Citadel. Normandy to the Citadel. Please tell me that's you, Commander.
I'm here, Joker.
We caught that distress call, Commander. I'm sitting here in the Endura sector with the entire Arcturus fleet. We can save the Ascension. Just unlock the relays around the Citadel and we'll send the cavalry in.
You can't sacrifice human lives to save the Council. What have they ever done for us?
Ashley, shut the fuck up.
This is bigger than humanity. Sovereign is a threat to every organic species in the galaxy.
Exactly. We can't throw away reinforcements trying to save the Council. We have to hold them back until Sovereign's exposed.
What's the order, Commander? Come in now to save the Ascension, or hold back?
Save the Council, obviously. Jesus Christ.
Opening the relays now, Joker. We need to save the Ascension no matter what the cost.
I hope you know what you're doing, Commander.
Shut up, Ashley.
Alliance ships, move in. Save the Destiny Ascension.
Commander, we're picking up reinforcements. It's the Alliance. Thank the goddess.
Destiny Ascension, you are all clear. Repeat, you are all clear.
The Citadel's opening. All ships move in. Concentrate on Sovereign.
Make sure he's dead.
He's dead.
Yes. A last little Reaper trick.
I am sovereign, and this nation is mine.
There we go. Got rid of his shield. So this fight, again, genuinely very difficult on, like, a real difficulty setting.
Sovereign's too strong. We have to pull back. Negative. This is our only chance. Take that monster down no matter what the cost.
Anyway, I was fighting someone. Punch to death. Okay, would you sit still for just a second, Saren? Oh my god, I'm tired of that. There we go. Poor guy. Like, he tried to choose death for himself. But, you know. Sovereign transferred its consciousness into him, though, which is our advantage.
Its shields are down. Now's our chance.
Hit it with everything we got.
Hard on my flank. We're going in.
Go!
Captain Anderson, we found them. They're in here.
Take it easy. It's over. You're safe now. Where's the commander?
And anticlimactic loading screen.
Ambassador, Captain, Commander Shepard. We have gathered here to recognize the enormous contributions of the Alliance forces in the war against Sovereign and the Geth.
Many humans lost their lives in the battle to save the Citadel. Brave and courageous soldiers who willingly gave their lives so that we, the Council, might live.
There is no greater sacrifice, and we share your grief over the tragic loss of so many noble men and women.
The Council also owes you a great personal debt, Commander, one we can never repay. You saved not just our lives, but the lives of billions from Sovereign and the Reapers.
Commander Shepard, your heroic and selfless actions serve as a symbol of everything humanity and the Alliance stand for.
And though we cannot bring back those valiant soldiers who gave their lives to save ours, we can honor their memories through our actions.
Humanity has shown it is ready to stand as a defender and protector of the galaxy. You have proved you are worthy to join our ranks and serve beside us on the Citadel Council.
Counselor, on behalf of humanity and the Alliance, we thank you for this prestigious honor and humbly accept.
We will need a list of potential candidates to fill humanity's seat on the Council.
Given all that has happened, I am sure your recommendation will carry a great deal of weight, Commander. Do you support any particular candidate?
Yeah, not Udina.
We need someone with the courage to stand up for what he believes in. Someone like Captain Anderson.
Him? You must be joking. Anderson prefers to let his fists do the talking.
Only with you, Ambassador. Only with you.
Are you sure about this, Commander? The captain's a soldier, not a politician.
I'd rather have the captain on the council than any politician I know.
I think it's an inspired choice. The council would welcome him with open arms, should he accept.
I'm honored, Counselor. As humanity's representative, I'll do everything in my power to help the council rebuild.
Sovereign's defeat marks the beginning of a new era for both humanity and the council.
Sovereign was only a vanguard. The Reaper fleet is still coming. Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. And I'm gonna find some way to stop them.
Shepard's right. Humanity is ready to do its part. United with the rest of the Council, we have the strength to overcome any challenge. When the Reapers come, we must stand side by side. We must fight against them as one. And together, we will drive them back into dark space.
Maybe I should have saved my my rant about what Mass Effect is about for this point, when the credits are gonna roll, and I kind of need to talk for a while to fill time, but oh well. It's just how I roll, baby. Hello, Casey Hudson, who has since left BioWare. And Carpishin as well, I think. Oh god, this is gonna get copyright claimed so hard. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute this music because I don't wanna have to deal with it. I'll replace it with something. But yeah, okay, so to fill some time, returning to what we were talking about, like, yeah, the game is ultimately, like, again, if you play this game fully Renegade, it means something very different. Like, if you don't play Shepard as Paragon at all, then what you get is this very, very very humans first, your own people first before anyone else kind of characterization of them. Like, ultimately, Renegade is a very selfish play style. It's a very selfish way to engage with the characters in the game, which is why, like, BioWare has released stats saying pretty much no one plays Renegade. Like, almost everybody chooses some degree of, like, majority Paragon with one or two Renegade choices here and there, which is also what you're going to be seeing me doing in Mass Effect 2. Like, sort of very rarely doing any Renegade actions unless it feels like something that where there's not massive consequences. Like, the whole thing about, like, intentionally sacrificing the Council is something most people just don't do, because we recognize on some level that, like, that's kind of... Like, if you take Renegade action, if you take this selfish, humans first, I don't give a shit about anyone else action, you're doing the wrong thing? Like, and especially given, like, that's one of the flaws of all morality systems in games, like, well, not all of them, but most morality systems in games, is that it's like, it's either a choice between do the right thing, or else go find an orphanage for puppies and set it on fire, because you can. Like, that's often, like, the split, is like either do the right thing or else just be unspeakably evil for no goddamn reason. And in Mass Effect, like, they tried very hard to do something different where they weren't doing it as a good and evil. Like, they tried not to do it as a good and evil split, and instead have it be either you do the right thing, you're upstanding, you follow the rules, like you uphold, like you follow protocol basically with Paragon, or else you break the rules and you go your own way and you're wild card and you do whatever it takes to get the job done. That's what they tried to do with the moral choice system in this game. They failed, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, they did not achieve this. Like, not even a little bit, because, and this is the fundamental problem, because they couldn't fundamentally change the outcomes. Whether you choose the Paragon option or the Renegade option in a conversation, the outcome is the same. You still, like, you succeed. You achieve your goals, and at the end of the game, you will still have saved the Citadel from... You still kill Sovereign, you still kill Saren, you still, like... Humanity still gets a seat on the Council. Everything still plays out, like, 99% exactly the same, with minor details changing here and there. And that's the big problem with moral choice systems like this, is like, that's all there is. It's that is that there is no, like, you can't fail is the problem. The game cannot impose failure on you for choosing the wrong moral option. The game has to be open-ended. It has to allow you to play however the hell you want to get. That's the sales pitch, right? It's like, play your way, choose the shepherd that you want to be. Which sounds good on paper, but the way it plays out in practice is you can't make the wrong decision. You just can't. Like, so long as you choose a charm or intimidate option, like the red or blue option, you can't fail. Like, you will succeed at convincing people to do the thing that you want them to do, just with different tones. And sometimes someone gets killed over it or whatever, but it's never anything big enough to really negatively impact your gameplay. Like, it's never big enough to really negatively impact what happens in the game. It's never big enough that you feel like an unpleasant, like, why am I being punished for playing my way feeling? And that's the game design problem, is like the user, like the player has to feel empowered. They have to feel empowered to do what they want and play the way that they want. So you can't punish them for doing the wrong thing. You can only encourage them and say, yes, you did the right thing. You succeeded. You have success. Good. The thing worked out. Hooray for you. And that's the fundamental problem of moral choice systems, is that moral choice implies right and wrong. Like, it implies a theory of, okay, we have a moral theory of how the world works. There is a right behavior and there's a wrong behavior. And narratively, that kind of has to play out, right? Like when you do the right thing, that has to have certain kinds of consequences. Not necessarily that, like, in a moral choice system, doing the right thing should always work perfectly and be the right, and be the correct choice, sort of pragmatically, but in the sense that, like, if you have a moral choice system, you would kind of think that the game has a morality, right? Like, that it has a moral standpoint and says, okay, some things are right, some things are wrong, and here's how we do that. And again, it's the thing that they were trying to sidestep. They were really trying to sidestep it by doing Paragon and Renegade instead of good and evil, or light side and dark side, as they did in Knights of the Old Republic. But because they cannot enforce, like, and also just from a budget perspective, like, if they actually had a moral choice system where the consequences were really impactful, they would basically have to make 2 games, like one where you're Paragon, one where you're Renegade, that are very, very different because your choices have actual, real, far-reaching consequences. That's not in the fucking budget. Like, that's not in the budget to do. And so your choice, Paragon or Renegade, is like, it's mostly just aesthetic. Like, ultimately, it's mostly just aesthetic. Because come Mass Effect 2, regardless of whether you let the Council live or you let them die, it's not like letting the Council die it cannot prevent you from succeeding in Mass Effect 2, right? Like, making the wrong choice there can't fuck you over from winning the next game. And so the choice becomes largely aesthetic. And BioWare, to their credit, and you will see this as we play Mass Effect 2 and 3, BioWare, to their credit, managed to do a lot. Like, a lot to try and make the make the choices that you make matter. And so instead of like, making a choice in Mass Effect 1 has an effect in Mass Effect 1, effect, it's like a lot of the choices that we've made in this playthrough of Mass Effect 1, which is not a complete playthrough. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that I missed, there's a bunch of stuff that I didn't quite, which is gonna annoy me in Mass Effect 2 because I'm so used to that stuff being there, because I used to have a perfect save that I would just import. Like, there are consequences of the choices we've made in this game that are gonna come back in Mass Effect 3 and actually have a gameplay impact and, like, actually influence whether or not we get to see certain NPCs, whether or not we get certain side quests. And the choices we make in Mass Effect 2 will do the same. So that's the way that they ultimately finally managed to make choices matter. Which is well done, frankly. Like, they managed to make choices matter in the long run, even if they couldn't do it always internally with each game, because the player has to be able to win no matter what they choose to do. So long as they succeed on a gameplay technical level, you can't make them lose. You can't force them to lose, which is the problem. But yeah, and as we get to the ending of Mass Effect 3, which, like, if you're familiar with the series, you'll already know, that's where that problem of of the choice system being more of an aesthetic than an actual philosophical, actual moral system, that's where that really kind of hurts Mass Effect 3, is by the end of that game, you know, you feel the lack of a strong, real moral choice system by the end of it. In the same way that you do here, where, like, again, save or kill the Council is an aesthetic decision. It's just, are they alive or are they dead? Like, which NPCs are going to talk to me at the end and tell me that Captain Anderson is going to sit on the Council, or Udina? Which person is Shepard going to give their speech to? You know, it's aesthetic. Anyway, that was Mass Effect. That was Mass Effect 1, a game with which I have plenty of complaints. Like, lots of complaints. You've heard them throughout this entire playthrough. Me just going on and on about, oh, the copy-paste, blah, blah, blah. Like, so much of what I have a problem with in Mass Effect 1 is solved in Mass Effect 2. It's, in my opinion, the best game of the series. Just taken as a whole, it's certainly my favorite. I'm very, very excited to play it, and I hope you'll come along with me, even after, like, even knowing that there's gonna be another rant near the end of that game as well, where I go off on some fucking something, at checks clock 5 a.m. in the morning. I hope you'll come along with me on that one as well. And thank you very much for coming along with me in Mass Effect 1. Like I said, it's a game I have a lot of complaints with, a lot of nitpicks, a lot of... But the reason I have all those complaints is because, goddammit, I care about it. It's a game that has mattered to me a great deal as the origin point of, the entryway for me into the series, and as the place where so many things that I love so desperately about Mass Effect 2 and 3 came from. There is no Mass Effect 2 without Mass Effect 1. There is no Mass Effect 3 without it either. So even though, yes, I have my quibbles and my complaints and stuff, it's still a really important game to me. And it has some really interesting and important ideas as well that it tries to discuss. And I hope I made you open to that idea with my extended rant. I hope I at least... Even if you disagree with my reading, which again, 110% fair, absolutely. Disagree with it, because I'm probably wrong about a bunch of stuff. Even if you disagree with it, I hope I opened you up to thinking about, okay, what would a better reading be? What's a better way to understand the game? Not to say no reason, stop trying to understand it, but to say, what would be a better reading? What's a better critique? What's a better praise? What's a better understanding of it than the one that I laid out? Let me know in the comments down below if you want to. And so long as you don't, type any insults against me personally, you can write it as long as you want. And I'll read it. I actually will. I can't promise I'll respond, but I can promise you I will read it. Anyway, if you've enjoyed going through the world of Mass Effect 1 with me, and maybe you want to come along in Mass Effect 2?
Maybe you do? Maybe that's a thing you wanna?
Then you can hit the like, comment, and or subscribe buttons down below, because that will let you know when more videos happen. Also, bell icon, especially, because notifications, good, I think. Algorithm? I don't know. I also have a Patreon, a merchandise store, a tip jar, and memberships available on this channel. Just monetization out the wazoo. Which you're more than welcome to take advantage of if you want, by giving me money, with which I will pay my rent, and I will pay the person who helps me edit some of the videos on this channel, and also other things, occasional commission art and stuff like that for my videos, helps me pay with that stuff. If you don't want to or you can't, don't worry about it. It is completely okay. It's entirely optional. It's only for people who, are willing and able, and, so don't worry about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. I assume if you're watching this episode, you watched at least some of the previous ones. Yeah. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Take the vaccine when it comes. And try to act in solidarity. And try to fight back against the alienation. Along with those who are trying to make the world a better place.